To the left is where we're at so far, and to the right is where we want to go. So the most obvious thing I see are just the cosmetic issues, the CSS stuff. Because I know that the code for both the left and the right are exactly the same. We have some subtle differences. And two things that I see. Obviously, we want to get rid of this gray left and right background, which is not a big deal at all. And the next is we want to bring these links that are up top over here, bring them down to the bottom. So I don't know, before I even get started, what's going to be my approach? What am I thinking? How could I do this? Well, here's what I know. I know that, so this whole thing is its own container, right? This, let me just do a little bit of this. So this thing has a container. And inside of this container is this nav menu, and it's this viewport thing. I think that if I set well, basically I want this above and the image above and the rest below. So for starters, I could set an position absolute for the viewport, and that's going to bring it out of the document flow and bring it right up to where, well, what it's relative to. So I'm going to set a relative or position relative to container. I'm going to set a position absolute to this viewport. I'll set it to 0, 0, so it'll put it right up to the top left corner of this box. Well, it's going to start at the top left corner and come down. And then I could add padding top to my link items and have them get pushed down. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let me go to my CSS. Hey, the first thing I could do is just take away this body color. Easy enough. Oops, let's see, some things got changed around. Let me refresh all this. Okay, so here we go. So again, I'll just take out my background color, save it. Yeah, you know, not bad. Make the easy changes, make me feel good, keep me motivated. Alright, took out the body color. Actually, I'm going to take out the color white for the container too, because I want it to be clear. Alright, so far so good. Now, since I want to make my viewport, let's see this code over here. What is it? What class do I have? Viewport. So the viewport needs to be set to an absolute position. Let me copy that, because I haven't even set it up in my CSS yet. So viewport position, yeah, absolute. Now what are we going to do? Top 0, because it's going to position it 0 pixels from the top. Left 0. Alright, that should do me good. Now, obviously this position absolute won't work, or may not work consistently unless I give it a relative, and the container is going to be what it's going to be relative to. So let me save this, and now give this a refresh. Ugh. Okay, now it's gone. What did we do? Viewport. Image pane. Now that the view, you know, all I could think is that potentially we need to define a width for this thing. Now I don't want to redefine a width to 450 if this is the fix, because then if I ever want to make it wider, I'm going to have to change it everywhere. So why don't I just do this 100%? I hope that fixes it. Ah, cool. Hey, look at that. You know what? I'll tell you. Since this happened, and since it kind of disappeared in Firefox, I can't even imagine what's going to happen in Internet Explorer. Hopefully nothing, but now that's kind of what's on my mind. It's kind of suspect. But now it's viewable, and our links are gone, but that's good, because now our links are actually overlapping over here. You know what? Before we go on further, let me let me give this a preview in Internet Explorer 8. You know, I got to do this twice. Yeah, let me give this a preview in Explorer 8 just to make sure that it's not horrific. Look at that. Awesome. It's still there. All right. So let's do... So now, since we got that set, what do we need this... where's our... So we don't have our nav menu. There we go. Set. So now what we're going to do for this thing is set the padding top to be, well, it's going to have to be at least 400 pixels, right? Because that's the height of the document. Let's see how that works out for us. Boom! Look at that. And after setting that, the padding top to the nav to left, it shows up below. Link's still working, looking good. I'm happy.